is on today is stumbling blocks while you're recovering from anything. Like you might be wanting to go somewhere in life. You have a goal set on where you want to go in life. And you have to be mindful of your actions. You know, someone else might have a goal. Their goal might be, I want to lose weight. And if that's that person's goal to lose weight, why would you bring ice cream or bring cake or things that you know would hinder them from reaching that goal? That person's in recovery. That person is looking to lose weight. That person is looking to lose weight. You know. And so what I've noticed, what I've noticed is that no matter what you're recovering from, a relationship, smoking weed, drinking, eating too much, over exercising, TV, being on your phone, you know, people have to be mindful not to be a stumbling block to your recovery. And then the other part of, the description of my videos, how to detect a person that's going to be a stumbling block. You have to have, in the Bible, God talks about having a spirit of discernment. A lot of times we have labels put on us like, oh, I'm Christian, Muslim, I'm Jew, I'm this, I'm that, right? And the crazy part is you gotta read the Word of God. You gotta have some form of spiritual principle that will help lead or navigate the physical body. In Buddhism, they say, I am not my mind. I believe the mind is the worst enemy a human has. You know? And it's when we're talking about the human body, I believe the human body has two minds. You have the higher mind, and then you have the lower mind. And a lot of times we're gravitated towards that lower nature of ourselves, right? And in being gravitated towards that lower nature, sometimes what it does, it puts us in situations where we become stumbling blocks for other people that are looking to go to the next level. You know. So I made it a wise decision, a conscious decision, that I am not going to be a stumbling block for anybody. I refuse to be a stumbling block for a person that is looking to go to the next level or the next stage in the development of their higher mind state. I don't want to be what you call a Dracula, or energy sucking. You know what I'm talking about? I don't want to be one of them type of people. I don't want to be depicted as one of those who uh, uh, bring other people down to my level. You know, um, it's just weird. And this was real shit. Like people think, you know, that when you're working towards a goal, you got to be mindful that there are energy eaters. That was their whole nature off the rip. Their whole nature when they came to this third dimensional plane was to be a stumbling. Their whole nature was to be a stumbling block for someone that is trying to reach to that spiritual level. And it's very um, it's crazy, you know. And it can be, and I think the worst thing I hate is when you have a rose and you know that rose is beautiful, and then you have a weed, and that weed will wrap itself around that rose and fucking suffocate it. Because the weed will just grow around that rose and all and suffocate it. And the rose won't be able to be what it wants to be, pleasing to the eye of someone else. So you have to be mindful that there are beings, their whole purpose is to take you off your path. You have to have a spirit of discernment, you know? You got to have the intuition, the clairvoyance. That's what I be talking to people about. These are high powers. These are high intellectual properties a human must have. You can have all the knowledge of all this, but if you don't have those intuition, clairvoyance, telekinesis, telepathy, if you don't have these type of gifts, spiritual gifts that God gives you, you're running around blind. And then you be easily taken off your path. So I hate it when a person's a stumbling block for someone else. And you will target their weakness. And you're time out. I gotta close the store. You know, and so I say this to say is that I say this to say is I ain't got time. I ain't got time for the foolery, you know. And when you are in any form of fashion of recovery, you got to be mindful of, you know, the other person or the other being that is trying to reach their spiritual perfection or spiritual, because ain't nothing perfect. That's all I got for y'all today. Don't let nobody be a stumbling block. And don't you be a stumbling block for nobody else. Peace.